everybody, what's up? Welcome to today's live stream. We're live streaming today with some cool stuff about how to play better guitar solos, okay? How can you begin playing better guitar solos? One of the things that I've found often happens with folks who are new to getting their feet wet, with wanting to play guitar solos, is they'll learn some scales and then they'll go ahead and want to use the information, play guitar solos, and they play too much. They overplay, right? And it's like a non-stop flow of notes. There's no spaces in between where, we have to keep in mind, with music, when we're playing a guitar solo, we are having a musical conversation with the listener. And it's just like me speaking and, talking to you right now on this live stream. There's spaces and pauses in between the things that I'm saying. It's not just like a big long run-on sentence. But a lot of times with newer players and they start playing guitar solos, that's what their guitar solos sound like. They sound like a big long run-on sentence. And I believe that the reason for this is because of really basically how we learn to play scales in the beginning. We all use scales to play guitar solos. It could be major scales, pentatonic scales, Lydian scale, whatever kind of scale, right? But when we learn them, like we'll go to the key of A today. We're in a key of A kind of day, so we'll look at, say, a major scale in A, right? When we first learn how to play a scale, what do? We simply start ascending and descending. And it's just like a continual flow of notes. There's no spaces or hesitations and emptiness in between the notes. It's just, non-stop. And so on when we're learning scales. And this is all well and good when we're learning how to play a scale. We need to get the information under our fingers and remember it, but when we're making music, we have to keep in mind, right, what are we doing, right? We're saying things. And there's spaces in between the phrases that we're making, which are our guitar notes, It's not just non-stop. It just sounds like we're playing scales, and that's not what we want to do. So how do we break this, right? How do we start saying musical statements using the scales? Okay, I'm going to show you this very powerful, cool technique, which is going to be a dotted quarter note. Okay, now when we start playing with dotted quarter note, what it does is it automatically brings in that spacing and pausing right into like typical scale practice, which is just playing one note after the other evenly, whether it's a quarter note or a half note or eighth note or whatever. So okay, understanding the dotted quarter note. So this is where a little geekery comes in, so just bear with me. I'll make it real quick and easy. But a dotted note, when you dot any kind of note, it extends it for half the duration of that note's value. So a dotted quarter note's going to last half the duration longer than the regular quarter note would last. So to understand that, we have to, be able to understand, well, half the duration of a quarter note would be an eighth note, right? Okay, and how do we count quarter notes? How do we count eighth notes? Well, let's put on our metronome. Every guitar player's best friend, right, is a metronome. Now, right now it's just clicking, right? And if we were to count that as quarter notes, right, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a quarter note on the guitar would be this. Each note lasts for that full click, and then the next click comes, the next note comes in. But then an eighth note is going to be getting two notes into that beat, so you have to put an end, right, an end in the middle in between the clicks. right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like so. So, what that means is that we need to understand how to play that, right? Now I'm playing eighth notes, okay? Cool, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? Those are eighth notes. So the dotted quarter note, one quarter note is going to last half a duration longer, and it's going to be every other note is going to be a dotted quarter note, right? So that means that it's going to be, right, this, right? Right, one note is lasting longer than the other, right, by half the duration of its value, in this case, dotted quarter note. So, right, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, etc., like that. Now we have a dotted quarter note. And you can put this exercise, right? Put this dotted quarter note exercise on any scale that you know. You could do it with a Lydian scale. Or a mixed Lydian scale. Etc. Pentatonic, right? So what we have now is that we have now a way to practice our scales that starts putting that ability, right, of phraseology, to phrasing, to be able to start saying musical statements that don't sound like a run-on sentence or just sound like, you know, we're playing scales when we want to play a solo. Okay, and now it's going to be much, much better because now it's like we're speaking, which we're speaking the musical language with our scale tones. And if you just simply do this with your scales for a short period of time, practice this for 5 or 10 minutes with your scales every day for a little while, and what you're going to find is that you will begin playing much better guitar solos. Much, much better. It's not going to sound like you're playing scales anymore. It's going to start sounding like true musical statements, which is the goal. That's what we want. Okay, hey, if you dig my videos, okay, like, share, subscribe to the channel, all right? Let your friends know if you know some folks that would like this kind of stuff. Tell them about the channel. Have them come in and check it out, okay? If you dig this kind of thing, and, you know, I'm here for private Zoom lessons. You want to go further than a YouTube video can take you with your guitar playing, there's a link in the description. Contact me about lessons. Of course, check out my music on Spotify and Bandcamp, streaming my music on Spotify and grabbing one of my original tracks on Bandcamp does go a long way to help me continue bringing awesome content out here on YouTube, helps support the channel. All right, until next time, have fun with this, play your guitar, rock and roll. Peace.